Not the years. It's the mileage.
Sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, but the same can't be said for these actors who have played the same iconic characters for decades. When I say names such as Vin Diesel, Tom Cruise, and Hugh Jackman, more often than not, your mind goes to an iconic character that they played. That's because them and a number of actors have been playing the same character for decades. And while someday in the future some of these roles will be recast, and have been recast in some cases on this list, it's impossible to not associate these actors with the roles that they've played. And as we've said, that's because they've been at it for decades. Decades! In this video, we'll look at actors who have played the same iconic character for years and years and how many times they have appeared as that very same character. Let's go!
I'm gonna enjoy what happens next.
Before Chris Hemsworth charmed us with his chiseled abs, dazzling good looks, and mesmerizing eyes. Huh? Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, yeah, sorry. Before Chris Hemsworth, there was another Australian actor who played a superhero that charmed us all. And that was, of course, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Also, like Hemsworth, Jackman was little known at the time of his casting back in the year 2000, and actually wasn't the studio's first choice, with Doug Ray Scott initially cast for the role. But with 10 outings as the character in 2 decades, there is no doubting that Jackman is the OG Wolverine, and has more than embodied the role, solidifying himself as almost everyone's favorite X-Men member. His joke feud with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool has been hilarious, and has made us wish that Jackman returns for an X-Force movie at some point. Although Jackman did hang up the claws and provide a perfect send-off for the character in Logan, he has hinted that he would return as the character in the MCU if that becomes an option. That is now certainly on the cards with Disney's takeover of Fox. Let's make it happen, and make it 3 decades. Now, it's impossible to do this list and not mention the longest running show on television, The Simpsons. Running for 3 decades, its core actors Dan Castellaneta, Julie Kavner, Nancy Cartwright, Yardley Smith, and Harry Shearer have appeared in 690 episodes each. And seeing that they're currently making $300,000 US per episode, it's been somewhat of a lucrative job as well. But the crazy thing is that, other than Hank Azaria,
The hell is sweet and sour peasant soup? I don't know. I made it up.
the actors have stuck mostly to voice acting, meaning that they can walk the streets with relative anonymity despite playing some of the most iconic characters of all time. Safe to say that they have a pretty great job, and I guess you can say that everything's coming up Millhouse for the Simpsons cast. It's kinda crazy when you think how far the Fast and Furious has come. The franchise started as a relatively small in scale movie about underworld street racing back in 2001, jump forward 19 years, and the 9th movie, which is set to come out in 2021, will be taking Vin Diesel and company into space. While the franchise has added the likes of Dwayne Johnson, Tyrese, and Jason Statham to their ranks, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, and Jordana Brewster have been recurring fixtures since the original movie. Sadly though, Paul Walker's ride was cut short after his untimely death back in 2013, but was still a major part of the franchise for over a decade. Yippee-ki-yay, Screen Ranters! Like Hugh Jackman, when Bruce Willis was cast as action hero John McClane in the movie Die Hard, there was some skepticism, with many struggling to see Willis as a tough guy. This, however, worked in his favor, as Willis embodied a person who was in over their head, and any qualms were quickly squashed by Willis's performance. Willis has played the role in 5 movies, and even reprised the character for an advanced auto parts ad this year.
You know we have free installation?
Yeah, I got it.
Willis may have played a number of characters since Die Hard's release in 1988, but he will always be known as John McClane. Another actor who will always be associated for one role despite appearing in a number of other movies, and even a run in politics, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie's performance as the Terminator back in 1984 is iconic to say the least, and when he said he'd be back, he evidently meant it, as he's played the character in 5 movies, with his likeness being used in the 4th movie, and even starred alongside Linda Hamilton again in 2019's Terminator: Dark Fate. When we mention Mark Hamill, your mind will probably, and arguably rightly, go to Luke Skywalker, seeing as he first played the character back in 1977 in A New Hope, and most recently in 2019 in Rise of Skywalker. But there is a character that he's been even more prolific with, albeit in a smaller time frame, and that is the role of the Joker. Hamill first began playing the part back in 1992 in the Batman animated series, but he's played the character in multiple projects since then, including the Arkham video games
Are you happy now?
And the Killing Joke animated movie, which was released back in 2016. With Hamill also providing the voice for Chucky, Zola, and Skeletor, it seems like Hamill is enjoying his time as the villain instead of the hero. He could have made a great Emperor. Tom Cruise might always be running, but he's not slowing down anytime soon. With the Mission Impossible movies and stunts getting bigger and bigger, the franchise seems to be going from strength to strength. But it's easy to forget how long Cruise has been playing the role of Ethan Hunt, with his first outing as the character going back all the way to 1996. And he's not hanging his running shoes up just yet, with 2 more Mission Impossibles on the way, one in 2021 and another in 2022. For some perspective, we've had 2 James Bond actors since then, and another one just around the corner. Like Hamill, Harrison Ford may be best known as the lovable rogue Han Solo, but of course, there's another iconic character with a finger point that he's played, Colonel Lucas in Apocalypse Now. Yeah, I'm just joking. Of course, we're talking about Indy. Ford has played Indy since Raiders of the Lost Ark back in 1981, and although his last appearance as the character was back in 2008 in the critically panned Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Ford will again be playing the character in 2022. Let's just hope Shia LaBeouf doesn't pull a Kylo Ren and stab him in the heart. We've mentioned Star Wars actors on this list already, but there's only one true GOAT when it comes to the franchise, and that is Anthony Daniels as the underappreciated C-3PO. Like, seriously, why are they so mean to him in Rise of Skywalker? Why do him dirty like that? Not only has Daniels played the character in all 9 movies in the Skywalker saga, but he's played the character in Rogue One and voiced him in Clone Wars, Rebels, and Lego Star Wars, and we can only hope that he will eventually rock up in The Mandalorian sometime soon, because Goldman gets paid. Many Bonds have come and gone, and while Connery, Moore, and Craig have all had long runs as the character, there's been one major constant in the franchise, and that was Desmond Llewellyn as Q. That role may currently be played by Ben Whishaw, but Desmond made the part of Bond's Gadget Man his own, playing the character 17 times, spanning from Russia with Love in 1963 to Brosnan's The World Is Not Enough in 1999. The year in which Desmond sadly passed. Whishaw may be doing a great job as the role, but Desmond will always be the original Q. Adrienne! Come on, when you hear that, your mind goes straight to Stallone. That's because, like the rest of the actors on this list, Stallone cannot cut himself away from his iconic role, Rocky. Yes, Stallone may also have another long-running iconic role as John Rambo, but since 1976, Stallone has been playing the role of boxing underdog Rocky Balboa, appearing as the character in 6 Rocky movies and in both Creed 1 and 2, garnering 2 Academy Award nominations for the role along the way. Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit is the greatest movie of all time. That is not a debate. It's a fact. And that is partly because of the lovable characters at its core. The Aardman characters, inventor Wallace and his lovable silent companion Gromit, have kept us entertained ever since their grand day out to the moon in 1989 till their most recent short, Matter of Loaf and Death, in 2008. While Gromit is silent, Wallace certainly has a voice, and that voice was provided by veteran actor Peter Sallis until he passed away in 2017. Ben Whitehead may now be the voice of Wallace, but like our previous entry with Desmond, Sallis will always be remembered as the man to provide the original voice. Like the holiday Halloween, the movie series Halloween seems to also run on an annual cycle with seemingly a new movie released every year. But as well as the slasher serial killer Michael Myers, one constant that has mostly remained is Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Curtis first played the character in the original movie in 1978, but also appeared in Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O. Most recently, Curtis reprised the character in 2018's Halloween, and will also play the character in the 2021 sequel Halloween Kills, and again in 2022 in what I presume is the final movie in the set, Halloween Ends. The Simpsons is by no means the only show to span literally decades, with Family Guy and South Park also remaining on the air for years. But it's not just animated shows that last a long time, with some live-action shows lasting almost as long. Take Law and Order SVU, for example, which has been on the air since 1999, with actors Mariska Hargitay, who plays Olivia Benson, and Ice-T, who plays Finn, appearing in 481 and 459 episodes respectively. To think I can't even commit to a phone plan. Another long-running live-action show, although it wasn't meant to run for even half as long, is the CW show Supernatural. The series, which began all the way back in 2005 and clocking in at 326 episodes, made household names of its stars Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, who play the Winchester brothers. Let's face it, can we imagine anyone else playing Sam and Dean other than these two? I know I can't. I genuinely forget that they're not actually brothers.
We don't even have friends. All our friends are dead.
What did you make of this list? Any that we missed? Which is your favorite? Any that you would recast? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to subscribe to ScreenRant to keep up to date with all of our daily content. See ya!